please. Hold, 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 please.
Hello, babes. Hello. Welcome to Bella After Dark. Man, oh man, I know I am competing with a couple of other live streams right now. And so there's a big one out right now that's also talking about Diddy. But no matter, because listen, if you are like me, my babes, we needed to understand like what is all going on, what is happening. Can somebody break it down? Like this is moving too fast for me. It was like 1 minute there was allegations, next minute there's raids in homes and children being detained and all kind of things happening. And so I thought it would be helpful we had a little visual aid to kind of assist us in breaking this down because I have questions. And if I have questions, I know you all have questions. So I thought that I would put together a little visual aid, a little guide for us. Okay. And so I came up with the following. And hang on a second. Before I share it, let me go back to the top. And now I will share it. All right. So this just hopefully will help us in our discussion tonight. I put together a little visual aid. Did he do it? Did he not? I don't know what Diddy did. You don't know what Diddy did. But we know the streets are talking, right? And so your friendly neighborhood brown girl Bella decided she was going to use her skills in putting a little PowerPoint presentation together because we had to just break this on down. And I needed to understand what all is going on. Okay. So first, let's break it down. Did he do it? Now, we used to call him Puff Daddy because of his violent outbursts, right? We used to call him Puffy all the time because he used to puff up and blow things all out of proportion. So yes, we know that he's rumored to have outbursts. We also know about his wildly reported, wild, elaborate parties, right? And these are parties where allegedly drug and sexual escapades were happening, right? So we kind of knew this was going on. And now as it's coming out, we find out that there also were allegedly hidden cameras in every room of the houses that he owns, and that he has loads and loads of films with top executives, celebrities, etc., participating in all types of acts. So this is all being alleged that's carrying on here. So we understand that there's something going on, right? Because we've heard it from Cassie. We're now hearing it from Jane Doe's, from John Doe most recently, that there is allegations of SA, DV, and all sorts of lewd acts, right? So, hi, everybody. I didn't even say hi to you all. Hi, Burns. Hi, everybody in the clouds. So we know at least that much, right? So now let's look at the timeline. And I put together a little timeline just based on the major things that we know that have happened, right? So in October of 2018, Cassie and Diddy finally call it quits, right? They've been rumored to be on again, off again, on again, and then off again. But in October of 2018, Cassie finally called it quits. Then in November, the next month of that same year, Kim Porter passes away from lobar pneumonia. And we're going to get into that in a second. But she passes away in November of that same year. The following year, in June 2019, Cassie and her trainer, Alex Fine, are expecting their first baby. During this time, and after Kim Porter passed away, her first child's father, Albie Shore, he gets gravely sick and falls into a coma after a series of posts and comments that were alluding to Diddy allegedly having something to do with the death of Kim Porter. Now that's around July 2022. Now in November 2023, Cassie's 35 plus page lawsuit comes out on November 16th, and then is settled for an undisclosed amount of money the very next day. And now here we are in 2024, March 26th, here's the raid. So that's kind of where my head is at in trying to piece this all together and kind of figure out what this timeline is looking like. So, hey, BDBGP, welcome in. So that's kind of where my head is in terms of the timeline and what we're looking at. So when we look back at this, we can kind of understand what all has happened. So let's take it from the top. So Cassie Ventura is speaking out now through lawyers who represents both Ventura and the Jane Doe who filed a complaint against Combs in December. And this is the Jane Doe. And they issued a statement to Good Morning America in the wake of all the raids that happened. So they said on behalf of Cassie that we will always support law enforcement when it seeks to persecute those who have violated the law. Hopefully, this will be the beginning of a process that will hold Mr. Combs responsible for his depraved conduct. That's very, very telling. And then I'll Be Sure has been reaching out, and he said when Kimberly passed away, Kim Porter, that he knows very clearly that the death of Kim Porter wasn't just suddenly over a pneumonia. And he feels that that was, some BS. He also felt that, she was in good spirits the last time that he spoke to her. They were just celebrating that their son Quincy got a new deal and got a Christmas special with Netflix. And she was in fantastic health and laughing and seeing, him exchange things with Diddy at the theater. And he said, he's just going to leave it there. But what happened was, as he was shouting out all these things that feel right to him about the death of Kim Porter, things kind of took a turn for the worse for him when he collapsed while working on some new music. And then he fell into a coma for almost 2 months, a little bit more than 2 months. I'll Be Sure, whose real name is Albert Joseph Brown III, had shared that he suffered from multiple illnesses, including renal failure, to the point that doctors were considering putting him in a hospice. They were saying that he was at the end of life care. When you go into renal failure, basically all of your systems shut down. And that's where they thought he was. So he was incubated during this time. He was on a ventilator. He had a tracheotomy. There was just so many things that were going on. And how he was able, with multiple failure, having to get a new liver, pull himself through after that near-death experience was so traumatic on his body. So he's still trying to gain his strength back and, pull himself together out of the midst of all of that medical crisis that he had not too long ago. And it appears that his relationship with Quincy is not the best, because we just saw recently that he reached out via social media saying that, I understand all of these things that are going on with like your stepfather and everything. And my door is basically open to you if you want to come here and stay with me. So, hey, feminine melanin. She says, I think I was talking to you on your show when I said, I believe he took her out. Yeah. So a lot of that is now coming back to the surface again. So it'd be interesting to see if that gets opened up as well. Diving a little further. Now go to the raid. Now, it's important to note that these people here in these jackets are from Homeland Security Investigations. Now, that is the principal investigating arm of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So they are responsible for investigating transnational crime and threats, specifically those criminal organizations that exploit the global infrastructure through international trade, travel, and finance. That's important to note. They raided Diddy's homes in both California and in Miami, Florida. Now, what I have found out through my own investigations is that when there are people in the homes, as they're raided, they are taken out of the homes and they are detained, not arrested, detained. So that is what happened to Christian Combs, who is now labeled King here. That's him. And then that is Justin Combs. That is his first son that Puppy had with Misa Hilton. So that is their son. So they are right now detained by the officers. They're not arrested. So that is what happens when there's someone in the home and they're doing a raid. They have to come outside. They have to be detained by the officers. And then once the raid is done and they have all of the things that they needed to get from their warrant or what have you, then they are released. So that is also important to note. And then, hey, Sugar, welcome in. Girl, your girl over here doing a whole PowerPoint. All right. And then a lot of people were asking about Quincy. So Quincy Brown is the son of Albie Shore and Kim Porter. His stepdad is Sean Combs, in the fact that he kind of not adopted him, but kind of, took him under his wing when him and Kim Porter were together. So he's kind of like a father figure to Quincy. Last Halloween, he dressed up as Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo. Now, this is important to note because a lot of people were making a whole lot of assumptions and kind of pulling things together and kind of stringing it along to tell the tale. I'm going to kind of give you my take on it, but as all of this unfolds and when I'm done, I'm going to turn it over to you all for your opinion. But here's my take. So Quincy Brown, who was named after his godfather, Quincy Jones, famous record producer for Michael Jackson and loads of others. He's Albie Shore's son. He dressed up as Frida Kahlo. Now, why this is interesting to me is that in her last days, Frida, she was bedridden with bronchial pneumonia. Even as she was bedridden, she did attend and speak at a demonstration against CIA's invasion of Guatemala. Afterwards, her illness had worsened, and that night she had a high fever and was in extreme pain. And that night in 1954, Frida had died at age 47. Now, again, there have been many speculations and leaps about why Quincy was dressed as Frida, but the reality is there are some similarities between the two women. One, they were both in the field of the arts. Frida was a painter. Kim Porter was a model, and she did do a little bit of acting as well. They both died of pneumonia. Frida had bronchial pneumonia, and Kim Porter had lobar pneumonia. Now, lobar pneumonia is when it spreads to the lobes of your lungs, and basically you can't hardly breathe. You'll have high fever from the infection, and that's how you expire from lobar pneumonia. And they both passed away at age 47. So that was what I think he was going for with the similarities, with the fact that they both had this form of pneumonia, albeit two different strains, but they both had it, and now they both expired at age 47. All right, so going further, let's look at this alleged drug mule that they're talking about. So Brendan Paul, who was on the Syracuse basketball team, was accused of being P. Diddy's alleged drug mule after the cops intercepted him about to board a plane with Diddy as they stopped the plane on that Monday. Now, here's the thing. He was booked on one count of possession of suspected cocaine and suspected marijuana edibles that were found in his travel bag. He was arrested and released on a $2,500 bond. But the one count of possession of cocaine and the suspected marijuana edibles were not like a lot of drugs that you would expect a quote unquote drug mule to be carrying. Typically, when people say, they're drug mules, they have kilos and long kilos of stuff, and they are arrested on multiple counts of possession, and it's multiple substances. This is suspected cocaine, suspected marijuana, and one count, which means he didn't have a whole lot of product on him. So it'll be telling to see where they go with this case. I think if I'm building a case, which it looks like, there is a case building for this, I'm trying to put everything against the wall that I can to make it stick. So the fact that Homeland Security was there, this kind of smells of a RICO case to me. It kind of smells like, they're trying to build some kind of RICO case to this. And then for this guy to be arrested on one count of possession, that just goes to tell me that they thought he would have more. And as it turned out, he didn't have as much as they thought he was going to have. So this whole drug mule thing has got me scratching my head, because I'm like, he didn't even have enough to be considered a drug mule. Like, I watch these television shows, you got to have trunkload, you got to have that thing strapped all over your body, to be suspected as a drug mule. It's just not enough. But I suspect that they thought that he was going to have much more than that. And what they found out was that he didn't have as much as we thought he was going to have, but they detained him anyway because he did have something. Hey, Angie, welcome in, and shout out to my cloud cuties. I see y'all. Well, I don't really see y'all, but I know y'all there. You know what I mean? All right, let's continue. So yesterday, was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago, the lawyer for Diddy released a statement saying that yesterday, which was the day of the raid, there was a gross overuse of military level force as search warrants were executed, at Mr. Combs's residence. They also go on to say that there is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by the authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. So that was a statement that was released on behalf of Diddy. Now, most recently, there's been some added sauce on here that two of the people who were rumored to be in Diddy's inner circle were also mentioned on the legal documents. Two in particular were Young Miami, who is being accused of transporting pink cocaine. I didn't know even that was a thing. Known on the streets as Tushi or Tutsi. I don't know. Y'all tell me. I'm not with the drugs. I don't know the drug lingo. So sorry. Can't help you there. But they said that the amended lawsuit filed by producer Rodney Little Rod Jones is now accusing Miami of that, as well as being a sex worker, quote unquote, alleged, with Daphne Joy, who is the ex-partner of 50 Cent and the mother of their son, Sire, who is 12. She has since denied the allegations that she was a sex worker paid by Sean Diddy Combs, and even goes so far as to say directly to 50 Cent that everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You are wreaking real havoc, frenzy, and chaos onto people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs for nothing? So producer Rodney Little Rod alleges in the sex trafficking lawsuit against Combs, who is 54, that Joy, 37, was a sex worker paid by the rapper. Joy has refuted Jones's allegations through the series of posts on her Instagram. She says the claim that I am a sex worker is 100% false and character assassination. She is retaining an attorney to explore all legal remedies against both Rodney and his attorney. So that is what I have for you all thus far. Like I said, this situation is unfolding by the day, by the minute, by the hour. Many people are on their live streams now talking about it, looking at different things that have come out. But, I always have to take it to my babes. What do you all think? What are your thoughts about what is happening thus far? I've heard everything from this is a witch hunt and they are just trying to take a black man down to a conspiracy within a conspiracy to Diddy has some blackmail on some of these celebrities and that they are using their means to basically shake him down, and that the raid was an attempt to get all of the evidence that they have on these people who are, in his inner circle that he might have taped or what have you, and that's what that whole raid was about. I don't know. My guess is as good as all of you all. I am just looking at what has been shown thus far. And I tell you, it smells really fishy and it smells really funky. And if I were Sean Diddy Combs, I'd just sit back, let my lawyers speak for me, and let this play out how it's going to play out. He's a Scorpio anyway, so he's not going down without a fight. So there is no way in the world that they're going to let Sean Diddy Combs is going to let these people take him down. But want to hear what you all say. Feminine Melanin says, I don't believe Daphne Joy. It reminded me of one of the R. Kelly girls who lied about her father on TV with Gail and apologized to him in text saying she had to and asking him to let the issue go. Listen, that could well be. That could well be. Let me put some lip gloss on top of this liquid lipstick. I have been loving these like lip concoctions that I've been doing where I'm like applying different liquid lipsticks with my lip glosses and just making like my own little lipstick lately. So, and a little glossy to it. Angie, hey Angie Styles says it's the year of exposure, like Cat Williams said. He did say that, didn't he? And Cat Williams is a Virgo. Just saying, he's a Virgo, like yours truly. And listen, we are very clairvoyant. We can see things and put them together like Rain Man, just picking stuff and putting them together and seeing just how everything is played out. And I really believe that we're going to see, and I said this myself a few years ago. I said, when they came up with R. Kelly, I said, this is not the first, and this will not be the last. There will be many people who will be exposed in the record industry. It was only a matter of time. When that whole thing came out, I said, honey, it's going down. It's going down. Y'all need to pull up stakes and get to doing something else, because this is not going to be it for you, honey. This is not going to be it. Sugar Love says, I believe her. She knows not to play with 50, but she thought she was better than the first baby mom. That she did. Well, you know, some of those chicks, I'll leave it there. Some of them rely on other things. Head. So when you rely on other things to get ahead, you kind of do those shortcuts, you know. But there are no shortcuts in life. My grandmother taught me that a long time ago. There are no shortcuts in life. You got to put the work in. You got to do and make the effort to make things happen for yourself, because if you sit and rest on your laurels, it's not going to be beneficial. Yes, come on, my Virgo intuition. Yes, honey, my Virgo intuition is never wrong. When my brain says something, just ain't right. I was like, yep, time to pack up the stakes. Moving on out. I'm out, because if it don't feel right, it don't pass the smell test, I can't do it for you. I can't do it. Angie says, if Weinstein and Epstein got locked up, Diddy is not going to escape the inevitable. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's not going to escape. But my thing is he going to drop dime? And if he does drop dime, who are you going to drop dime on? Who is not safe? Everybody's saying Jay-Z is next. I don't think so. You know why I don't think so? Because Jay is very smart. He's very calculating. He's the first billionaire after Dr. Dre. He's the first hip hop billionaire after Dr. Dre. And you don't get that way by being less than smart. So I think that he is insulated. What is interesting, though, is that those who are in the closest of his camps, like the Mary J. Blige, like Faith Evans, they're not talking. They're not saying a word. Peep. That's very telling. Especially since when he was awarded that award at BET, right? Which kind of kickstarted everything, because wasn't it like the next day or the next couple of days, Cassie was just like, I can't take it anymore. I gotta, do this lawsuit, which insiders say she actually started the lawsuit before, and he poo-pooed it because she wanted too much money. So he got her to back off or whatever happened. But then she filed again. And it was when she filed the second time that he was like, okay, I gotta pay her. And when you settle a lawsuit that quickly, then people smell chum in the water, right? And sharks come right out. Once he settled that, was everybody else who wanted an axe to grind. And honey, they are coming out from the woodworks. They are coming out from all over the place to bash Diddy and to bash the industry. And I actually have a friend who used to be, pretty tight in like the video world during that time. I'm trying to get her to come to be actually just a boss babe, but I think she's being squeamish right now because of everything that's going on. And I don't want her to feel like, I'm going to be asking her about Diddy and all of that, because I really don't want to. I really pride myself on my relationship, and I would never want her to feel uncomfortable. Like, we're girls, so I wouldn't want her to feel uncomfortable by coming at her with like any kind of scandalous questions or what have you. Angie said, oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, chum in the water, honey. Chum in the water. They smell it. They're coming for it. Jay-Z, yeah, JC is too smart and too protected. He got those real good real good lawyers, those Steens and the Steins, and what I'm talking about. And I think you do, where when you pull them out, it's going to be a grip an hour. At least a grip an hour. So I really think that he's one of the more protected ones. But did y'all see? I think it was on Instagram. I think my sister sent it to me, where Uncle Luke was like, they asked him, "Oh, did you ever go to any of those, wild parties or Puff?" And he's like, "Yeah, I went to, Puff's parties, whatever, but I always loved him." I was like, now, one doggone thing, Mr. Freaky Uncle Luke. When the freaky Mr. Uncle Luke ever leave a party early? When did that ever happen? And if that were to happen, that got to be one hell of a party for Uncle Luke to leave early. Uncle Luke said, "I got to go to back this up. Got to go. I don't know what y'all doing, but I ain't part of it." Like, what in the world was going on there? That Uncle Luke left. That's bad when Uncle Luke leave. Hey, Lou, welcome in. And she said, "I think Usher, TD Jakes, Young Miami, Cuba Gold." Yes, Cuba Gooding also. Thank you. He was also cited in this last case with little. I don't know why I keep want to call him Little Rel. What's the boy name? Not the boy. I mean, he's a man now. I'm gonna just call him Rodney, because I think I remember Rodney is his name. Yeah, he's definitely named Cuba Gooding. His sons, Justin and Kristen, Stevie J. Yeah, Stevie J. I saw Stevie J. Stevie J was playing some gospel music. I was like, yeah, I know you need some Jesus in here, huh? He was part of that Hitman Squad. And if it goes to that, I do have to disclose something about myself and the Hitman Squad. If it ever goes to that, I will have to disclose something. Maybe. I don't know. I won't be named before y'all think of something. I won't be named. But if it does come to that, I should probably disclose something. But who knows? It might not even come to that. However, there are many people who are tied to him. You notice you don't hear Whitney Spengali. What is his name? Clive Davis. I haven't heard anything. Have y'all heard from Clive? Clive has been quiet as a mouse throughout this whole ordeal, and him and Puppy were like this. And then, Andre Harrell passed away. I'm like, all of his like inner circle is like fading. So all the people who used to be there to insulate him forever, this thing happened to come about. All of those people who were insulating him, they're all gone. They're all gone. And the people who are coming up are just singing to the top of their lungs. I heard Tanika Ray. I heard that name in 50,000 years, Tanika Ray. And I saw she just did an interview talking about, some of the things that I could say, but I'm not going to say. So why are you saying it? Listen, whenever I hear somebody start talking about the things I could say, but I'm not going to say. I gotta be like, I'm gonna look at you with the side eye, like, what you talking about? Because if you are getting up on a national platform, right, and you're in front of these news media and they're asking you what's going on, and you're starting to say, well, I could say these things, but I don't want to say, I'm just trying to heal. Why are you there? Why are you there? That frustrates me to no end. And then Torre with his bitch man. I said, what the hell is this? He comes out with a story saying, oh, I had sent one of my family members to intern with him. And then all of a sudden the internship stopped. And when I asked my family member about it, he says to me, oh, he wanted me to spend the night with him, but I refused. And so my internship ended. I'm sorry. Flag on the play. Flag on the play here. Let me get something straight. If ever one of my family members came to me and said, someone who I put up to get my family member an internship, if they came to me and said, Shannon, the reason why the internship ended was because so-and-so had asked me to sleep with him or spend the night with him sleep with him basically in his bed. And when I refused, the internship ended. I would not be telling y'all that just now. I done went to that Negro house. Excuse me, you know how I get down. You know how I get down. I'm Brooklyn all day, every day, and twice on Sunday sips. Ain't no way a family member would be played out of position like that and it just goes away. And I don't talk about this. I don't say nothing about this till years and years later. Is you crazy? Is you crazy? So I'm just like, nah. Something's going on. Something is going on. Yeah, politicians are nervous too, Angie. That's a good point. Yep. Luke brought it to the stage. Yes, honey. All his freakness was out on center stage for everybody to see, right? He said, I don't get down with that. I don't get down with that hush hush. You're going to see it right here on this stage so that there be no mistake. By the way, as we're talking about Uncle Luke, I wanted to say in front of all my babes, because y'all know, I'm a Greek. I'm an AKA. My pink and green candle. I know y'all see it. Anyway, I have to say, I was marked safe at the Freak Fest. I was marked safe. There's no young Bella dipping it low or spreading it wide or nothing like that for all to see. I was a good girl. I stayed my behind home on spring break. I was not out popping and locking it and dipping and doing. Okay, so I watched it with my popcorn and my glass of vino like everybody else. Like, let me see if I see some people I know. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Okay. But I will give them a little wink when I see them out in the streets. I will say, I saw you. Had little Daisy Dukes on, huh? Little coochie cutters. I see you. I saw you. All right now. So yeah, I heard that they even mentioned Prince Harry. Listen, Prince Harry was a wild boy. He was a wild boy. I have no doubts he probably was at, some freak offs of puppies, because that's what he used to call them, the freak offs. I have no doubt that he was probably there. Now, was he there with all the wild, kinky, fresh stuff? Nah, probably not. I think he probably would have dipped out if they got too crazed, but he's protected nevertheless. Like, the royal family may not like them, but they're protecting themselves at all costs. So that means it's so facto they're gonna protect Prince Harry. So there ain't no way that's gonna go down. Ain't no way that's gonna go down. Yeah, Angie says everyone from Uptown Records was unalived mysteriously. Only Al B sure survived barely. And that's barely with a capital B. I mean, when you look at all the surgeries that he had, how he got through that and is here to tell the tale is by the grace of God. That's how you know there is a God, because he was near death several times, and he made it through. So I do not want him to rock the boat, because his body is just getting back and recovering from all that he went through. So I know for sure, like, he can't do too much of that. You know what I mean? While I have y'all here, don't forget, your brown girl Bella is here. So if you are not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And when you do, tap that notification bell so you're notified each and every time that I go live, I post, or whatever. And your girl also has a membership. Membership starts at 99 cents on up to $9.99. Be a bougie babe. And for my babes, you have lots of premiums and perks. One of them is my infamous Freebie Fridays, where on Fridays I unleash a special product, whether it's skincare or hair care or makeup, whatever, as a freebie. It's while supplies last. You go on, click the link, and if you pay your $12.95 for shipping and handling, the product is yours. So please consider doing that. Like I said, membership starts from 99 cents on up to $9.99. And we're going to be starting to do more things as the year goes on, because this is my 7th year. This is going to be my 7th year in August. So I want to kind of do some new things and shake things up a little bit. So you'll be seeing that rolling out in the next few weeks. So if you can, please consider doing so. Hey, Points Blank Travel, what's up? How are you? Thanks for coming in. Angie saying hi. Oh, my mom was an AKA. Yeah. I have been an AKA in May. It will be 28 years. I can hardly believe it myself. I was actually just on the phone before I came on live with my line sister, who's probably in the class. Hey, LS. And I was telling her about, everything that I'm preparing and all that. And we were talking about us being over 25 years. So that is the distinguished mark of a silver star. So that's what they call AKAs who have been in the sorority for 25 years. So I was telling her that I want to kind of, start hanging up some more stuff here in the beauty room. And I was like, oh, I should probably hang up like my 25-year certificate and like my initiation certificate, and have both of those hung up. And she told me she thinks she found where it is, but she ain't gonna hang it up. I was like, girl, do you know how we have toiled for this day? How we have done so much in the show? Well, I know I have. I've been on e-board almost as long as I've been a member of the sorority. And that's like the executive board. So I'm going to executive meetings. I'm on the dais. I have put in that work. So you doggone right, I'm going to hang up my 25 years proudly with distinction, silver star and life member. So I have a silver star certificate. I also have a life membership certificate, and I have my initiation certificate. So I wanted to hang them all three up. And she's like, yeah, I can hang that up. I was like, girl, what? Clutch my pearls. So y'all tell her in here. Y'all tell her in here she need to hang up her stuff. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? Harry is good. He's protected. He's protected. Staying busy. Yeah, prayers up for Albie. But you know what I'm gonna need Albie to do, y'all? I'm gonna need Albie to stop communicating with his son over the interwebs. I'm gonna need you to stop that. You should know this boy's number. You should have this young man's number, okay? And if you don't, that's telling me right then and there that this is where you need to start having a relationship with your son, is to have his number and to be able to reach out to him. Like, you don't have to reach out to him every week, but you should doggone sure, in case of sickness or what have you, be able to reach out and talk to your son. This is not good. This is not good. Oh, Sugar Love saying, hey. Itchy! Wait a minute. Hopefully,
please.
we got a new member. Whoop, 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 whoop. Angie, welcome to the Bella Brigade, honey. Welcome in, and thank you so much. All right, now look for that drop tomorrow. It'll be on my community tab for my babes. So anybody, baby babes and higher, get that drop. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So getting back to this whole puppy thing, one other thing I wanted to mention, and I think I kind of touched on it a little bit, but let me break it down for you a little bit more. So Puppy is a Scorpio. And I know a lot about Scorpios. My grandmother was a Scorpio. My son is a Scorpio. My dog is a Scorpio. I can't escape him. My first boyfriend was a Scorpio. Like, I can't escape him. At all. But what I know about Scorpios are they're very secretive. They kind of live that dual life, So you can meet someone who's a Scorpio, and I can meet someone who's a Scorpio, and somebody else can meet that same Scorpio, and we will have 3 different versions of what we think that person is, because they tend to adapt and mold themselves into what would be most pleasing for you. Okay. So for instance, if I meet a guy who's a Scorpio and I want someone who is very loving and affectionate and touchy-feely, they may not be that way, but because I like it, they're going to be that, and they're going to exhibit that, and they're going to constantly give me that. However, the next girl could want a guy who they always talk sassy to each other and talk, whatever. That's what he's going to give her. So he's going to mold himself, and he's going to give himself to you and show up as the version of that man that you want. And what tends to happen is they can't keep the facade up for so long. So eventually the mask starts slipping. And that's what I think is happening in Puppy's case. His installation, where, all of those people who used to be around him and used to protect him and used to isolate him from people, snapping at him and seeing that facade fade, all of those people are gone from his life. So now these new people, they don't really know how to do that. They don't really know how to insulate him in that same way. And so he's got, the young Miamis and all that. And I was watching someone do an account of her and was saying how they feel like young Miami really feels like Puffy is her man. And I'm like, you know what? I can almost go with that, because that's probably what he was giving her. He was probably giving her the impression that he and her were together. You know what I mean? And because when they were on that red carpet and people were like, oh, is this your man? Is this whatever? She looked to him to be like, well, what should we say we are, whatever. And then he was like, yeah, we go together hard. And then she followed it up. Yeah, we go together hard. But she didn't know what to say, because she's like, well, what are we? Do we say we're together? Do we say we're not together? I don't know what to say in this point. So she's looking at him like, well, what's the cue? Whereas, Cassie or Kim Porter or whatever, they'd have been like, toss their head to that question and kept it pushing and not even give that any energy. But because these girls are younger and they don't know, how to finesse it, they don't know how to, skirt the issue or not even talk about it. So she's like, well, what do I say? So he takes the reins. And so, yeah, I totally get that, how she might feel like he totally gives her the vibe that she is his woman. You know what I mean? And even when she was like fighting with those other girls, like, you only fight with another girl if you think the man that you dealing with is your man. Now, when you come to find out he for everybody and he for the streets, then it's like, oh, okay, well, egg on my face. I didn't know he was for the streets. I thought that we were together. I thought we were, rocking. So I see her, going after these girls and telling these girls, well, whatever, you had the baby by him, but he's still with me and blah, 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 blah. Like, that's all, the petty girl stuff. That's high school bull. A real woman ain't mixing words with you like that. We not going back and forth on no Twitter or no Instagram or no whatever about what he is to you versus what he is to me. You know what I mean? We're old school. Remember, we on the phone. Hello, Barbara. Barbara, this is Shirley. Like, we on the phone. We about that business. We ain't taking it out for everybody. We gonna call up the chick and we gonna hash it out like two grown women. And that's just that. Hey, Pierre. Welcome in. Oh, I missed one. Angie said my grandmother. Mine too. My grandmother was a feisty Scorpio too. She would look right through people and read them to the. Yes, my grandmother was nicey. Remember that song by Michelet? Some people think I'm nice. Some people think I'm nasty. But if you really want to know, just ask me, and I say I'm nicey. That was my grandmother. My grandmother could basically curse you out and smile at the same time. And you're like, did she just curse me out and say that I was an MNFer? And I was never going to be no MNFer good? But she's still smiling at me. So I'm smiling back at her, but I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. And she would definitely be like, no, baby. I have money from my house. I can't help you this week. But God bless you. All right. I'm gonna close my door now. All right. Good night. Boom. Chain on the door. And if they so happen to ring the doorbell again, my grandma said, don't go over there to the door. Don't answer it. Don't answer it. They on that shit. That's what she used to say. They on that SHIT. And I'm like, Grandma, that shit. Like, I know how to spell. Because I'm also a precocious child. So you spelling to me, I'm like, I ain't no stupid little girl. I know how to spell now. SHIT means shit. I knew that from the gate. Okay. So what we talking, Grandma? Let's hear the real tea. So all the times we used to have. But yeah, she'd be like, don't go over there by that door. They on that SHIT and they want my money and I ain't giving them no money this week. They still owe me from last week. I swear, I think my grandmother was like the loan shark of the building. Because everybody went to her for money. And I'm like, what do they know about my grandmother that I don't know? How they know she got this money? Because I see her leave for work every day. Like, she live here like y'all live here. What you mean? It was the wildest thing. Hey, my dozen Bay is in here. Thank you for coming. Yes, welcome in. Beauty Boss by Jamie. Hey, welcome in. Angie says he did that. So yes. Oh, that is a form of manipulation as well. And they're good at that. They are very good at especially the men. Very good at manipulation. Very good at manipulation. Make you see one thing, but it's really another. I remember, all right, real quick, a little story time. This is when I was dating the first boyfriend, and we went on a trip to a ski lodge, like up in the like Pennsylvania area. And it was like a bus ride. It was a bunch of people. You know, we had the party bus. We were like 18, 19 years old. And we were going up to ski, right? And he had me there, and I'm sitting in the front of the bus. And, I'm like, I got my little snacks. I got, him snacks. And, because we all, like, our little crew, like, made this bus outing. And so I invited my girls. They invited, everybody invited, like, their crew. And so we were all on this bus. So I'm in the front with him, and he would sit with me, blah, blah, blah. But because we're all, like, basically putting this on, I know he has to go and, like, check on other people and, make the bus lively or whatever. So he would leave and go to the back and da-da-da-da-da. And, we women, we have this thing called intuition. And when that little hair in the back of your head kind of stick up, it's like, wait a minute. here's the hair. Wait a minute. He ain't been back to check on you in a minute. He been back there. What's he doing back there? And so I said, little hair self, I don't know what he's doing back there. Let's go see what he's doing back there. So I took my butt back there, and lo and behold, they was on in the back, and she was grinding her butt on him, and they was dancing. He or smile, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, what the entire F is this? And of course, he stops immediately. I was just, entertaining everybody. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, you entertaining, huh? You so entertaining. Okay. Stay entertaining. Watch what happens when I get off this bus. Because I can entertain too. I got people here. I can entertain. So you want to entertain? We could be entertainers together. Okay, I can entertain too. I know exactly how to entertain. So when we got off that bus, the first night was a pajama party. And I had, a little tame pajama that I was going to put on. After that display, I went and put on the pajamas that I was going to wear with him. And I went to the pajama party. He stayed up underneath me the whole night. I was like, oh, I thought you was dancing with old girl. And she want to still dance with old girl. Oh, no, he didn't want to dance with old girl then. Then he want to follow me around, see what I'm doing. I was like, oh, no, we entertaining, right? We entertaining. So let me entertain. Oh, Shannon, stop playing. It get all serious when you start playing. When you start getting in your trick bag, then it's like, oh, stop playing. Oh, stop playing. Oh, no. See, you should have stopped and that did what you did. Because now Shannon gonna get in her trick bag, see what she want to do. Okay? Okay. So yeah, they're very manipulative. They like to, you know, entertain and do all the stuff. But when you do it to them, oh, they cannot. They cannot stand it. They cannot, yes, they cannot stand it. Don't do it to me. How dare you do it to me? I can do it to you all day and twice on Sunday, but no, you cannot do it to me. Oh no. Oh no. Mm-mm. So true. Same with my grandmother too. Too funny. Yeah. Well, my grandmother was funny anyway because my grandmother, they can hold grudges forever. Forever. My grandparents on my mother's side lived a building apart. My grandmother lived in one building. My grandfather actually lived in the other building. Another true story, real quick. So one of my grandmother's sisters passed away. She had 14 brothers and sisters, 7 on each side, 7 girls, 7 boys. And one of her older sisters passed. Now, my grandfather and that sister were really close. You know, the whole family was because they kind of grew up together. So when she passed, naturally he went to the funeral. But of course, he didn't ride with us because they're not speaking and they hadn't spoken for years. So we're at the cemetery and we're just coming back into the limousine. And I'm sitting in the middle. Or was I sitting at the end? I think I was sitting in the end. I was sitting in the end by the window. My grandmother was sitting at the other end. I think my mother was sitting in the middle. I don't know how that happened. Usually I get stuck with the middle, but go with me here. So she was in the middle. So my grandfather taps on the window, tells me to roll it down. So of course I roll it down to my grandfather. So he sticks his head in the window. He says, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm going, I'm okay. I'm, sad Aunt Minnie passed, but we're all good." He tells me, and I promise you, and that's what he said to me. "Tell your grandmother I give my condolences." Then remember, I'm a smart ass kid, right? And I'm like, she right here. I ain't shit. I promise you. I was like, she right here. I'm pretty sure she heard you. And so my grandmother turns to me. Now mind you, I know her turns and I know her looks because she gave me the look like, "Don't you even try that smartness with me." She looked at me and she said, "Tell him I said thank you." And then turned her head the other way so she don't see him no more. I said, "Now that's a cold piece of work right there." I said, "I want to be at that level of petty. Thank you very much. I want to be at that level of petty that I would tell my husband, because he's still her husband. They were still married until he died. They were still together. They were still married. I want to be at that level of petty where I don't even look at this Negro. He's telling me condolences on my dead sister. I still don't acknowledge his existence. I tell my granddaughter, tell him I said thank you." And then turn my mother tipping head the other mother tipping way. I said, "Well, you know what? That's who reared me." So y'all know I'm a cold piece of work sometimes. I'm a cold piece of work. Do me dirty if you want to. It won't end well for you, sir. I will guarantee you that. It won't end well for you, Dunny. That woman said, "Tell him I said thank you." And yep, I sure did with my fresh ass. She said thank you. And he was like, "Okay then, okay then," and rolled up the window. Man, I tell you, I could write a book. I could write a book on my grandparents alone would be a whole book because I had one side that was this, and then my other side with my West Indian grandfather who smoked the most wonderful pipes. Maybe that's why I love cigars so much because he used to smoke these cigars. I mean, not cigars, these pipes that smelled amazing. Amazing. He used to smoke them in the house too. Kids running around, we didn't care, secondhand smoke, whatever. But they smelled so wonderful. And I used to always love to be up around him because he smelled good. And then the pipes smelled good. And he would always give me like candy and money because I was the only one of all the grandkids that would like hang out with him and like hear all his stories about growing up as a boy in Barbados and blah, blah, blah. And they didn't have shoes. You know, the whole story. I didn't have shoes. I had to walk to school, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there like, after this story, he gonna give me some money, and then with the money, I'm gonna buy this, and I'm like just diagnosing it in my head, like what I'm gonna get with the money, because I'm sitting here listening to the story, and he would just tell me like really like fun stories about life in Barbados. And then my grandmother, and y'all all know, I used to do the accent from my grandmother and just be like, what in the world? Like that dynamic was crazy. But again, it brought me to here. And here I am, Brown Girl Bella, telling y'all all this stuff about P. Diddy and his foolishness and shenanigans and nonsense. So there you have it. There you have it. Yeah, I'm laughing. But I'm serious. That is exactly how it was. That's exactly how it was. All right. So let's bring this all back full circle. P. Diddy. Do I think he's going to jail? Eventually. Eventually. I don't think he's going to do as much time as R. Kelly because I think that even though he doesn't have the insulation that he used to have, he does have some kind of protection. Now, whether that's in the form of these alleged bribery tapes that forced Homeland Security to come down or whatever. And I heard a couple of people say that it could be Diageo, because remember they had that big deal with Diageo and the Ciroc. Diageo owns Ciroc, and Diddy was one of the celebrity spokespersons of Ciroc, and he had some stake in the product. And he had sued them and said, that they don't value Black men, and this whole big thing. And so some people were saying maybe that spurred it, but I'm like, nah, that's not enough to mess up a bag. Like Diageo is smart. It's a billion-dollar industry. They have loads and loads and loads of attorneys to deal with stuff. That's why they just shut up his holler, let him go about his merry way. Here, take this little chunk of change, go about your merry way, and just be gone. Hey, Jill. Hey, beautiful. How are you? Thank you for coming. Good to see you. Cheers. So I don't think it's Diageo. And, some people were saying it's the executives at all of these record companies. But record companies really ain't hitting the way they used to anymore. With all the streaming services and all of these things that are going on, it is, I'd be hard pressed to say that it's the executives or the record industry that is doing this to Puff. However, the executives that have amassed some money, I think, and maybe on these alleged tapes or what have you, I think that is a reason that some of them may have gotten together to get them. You know what I mean? And if you think about who the most powerful men are that Puffy has been dealing with or have dealt with in the past. Then you got something there. Then you got something that has some legs and could potentially be something. Because when all this raid stuff is happening, where was Jay-Z? On the other side of the country in Japan. Oh. Ding. On the other side of the country in Japan. Interesting. Angie says, they're saying Albie Short is pleading for his son Quincy to come home. He's trying to protect his son, especially after what happened to Kim Porter, his mother. Yeah, I mean, I get it. But I'm going to need old boy to pick up a phone. Or if he doesn't have his number, you got somebody's number that he knows. Find that number. Call your son. Hey, Quincy, this is Al. This is your dad. And say what you got to say. It's not for us in the interwebs to see what's going on with you and your son. That's a whole separate issue that you need to deal with your child. Don't bring your beef to social media. That's not what it's there for. The so-called elites are no longer protecting him, especially Clive Davis. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is very telling because Clive was his boy. Clive, if you remember from back in the day, you couldn't see a picture without Clive hugging on him. And Clive is homosexual. I don't know if he came out. I think he did. He kind of came out in the Whitney movie, kind of, sort of. But he patterned himself after Clive, is all I'm saying. Remember, he came through with Andre Harrell, with Clive, with all of those people. Yeah, so he went to see Russell in Bali, but all this stuff going down with Puffy, and he lived with Puffy for he said a year. It was more than a year that he lived with Puffy. He was 13, 14, and I think he moved back to Atlanta when he was like 15. So that had to be a good, smooth 2 years at least that he lived with Puffy. And so he was saying that there were very interesting, quote unquote, interesting things that used to go on in Puffy's house. So you trying to say it, but you're not really saying it. Why are you straddling the fence? And why did you go see Russell, but you didn't go and check on Puff? And you live with Puff? You didn't live with Russell, you live with Puff. So what is that? Are you going to tell him, oh, we got him, the raid is happening? Like, are you going to run and tell that? Was that your, hey, Barbara, this is Shirley? Was that yours, Usher? Did you do that? There's so many different things here. So many different things. He came out. Oh, you talking about Clive came out? I mean, it was the worst kept secret in Hollywood, in show business, in the record industry. We all knew. Like, okay. But those freak off sessions and all of those things, he patterned that after Clive's legendary parties. Like the Grammy parties that he has before the Grammys. What happened to my Whitney? Clive. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Puffy and Clive had a thing allegedly. I am not shocked by that at all. Not shocked by that at all. Angie said, I think Usher went to see Russell for advice because he knows he's been implicated, probably hung a hut out there to relocate. Before the bullshit hits the fan. Listen, that's a good hypothesis. That I think you might be onto something there. Also, you gotta realize the Scorpio ego too is in play here, because Russell went to Bali. Bali doesn't have any extra dieting treaties. I talk today. I didn't even have but 3 sips of this wine. But there are no extraditions to the US from Bali. Back together. All right, so going to Bali for him makes sense. He's a yogi. He can sit there and meditate and eat seaweed and be just as happy. And he ain't got to deal with Kimora because Kimora is all over it right now. Anytime she can get in front of a microphone, she is just waiting to tell it. And I am floored that people are not coming at her, because you can tell she wants to tell it, but telling it will also tell on herself. So she's trying to figure out a way to tell it, but not tell on herself so she can run and tell it, because she wants to tell it. She wants to tell it and she wants the money so she can tell it. But I don't think too that she's going to get any money. I don't think anybody's going to, excuse me, going to give her the money that she may want to go and tell this. I don't think so. No, there are no extradition laws. Thank you so much. Because I had a brain freeze and a tongue tie at the same time trying to say that word. So no, there are no extradition laws. And see, people were like, oh, Puffy trying to run away and he trying to get the kids and run away, but he's going to the Caribbean. Yeah, he was going to the Caribbean because it's spring break. He was taking the kids to spring break. He had no clue that this stuff was going down. He had no clue that this stuff was going down. And they timed it so that they can get him. Excuse me, I'm like yawning and coughing at the same time. So sorry. So she is like just trying to get that through line. Like, oh my God, he's running away because he's taking the kids and he's going off. But think about it. It's spring break. His girls are what, 16, 17. This is going to be one of the last ones that they have together before they're off to college or whatever they're going to be doing. So that's what that's what he wanted to do. But everybody's trying to make it, oh, he's running. He wasn't running. And I would be hard pressed to see Puff resort to running. He ain't built for that. He's arrogant and he will go to the hilt to protect his quote unquote legacy. He ain't doing that. Yes, Kimora is trying to not spill it all. She hates Russell. Oh yeah. She hates Russell because Russell ain't giving her no more money. Her well has run dry. And then she goes and marries these other guys and still tries to hang on to Russell and his money. I'm like, you can't have one hand in your ex-husband's pocket and one hand in your new husband's pocket. It just don't go that way, sis. You got to pick a pocket, Kimora. You got to pick a pocket to pick. You're going to pick your ex-husband's pocket or you're going to pick the new husband's pocket. But you can't pick both pockets. Because Russell was like, I'm not doing this with you no more. This is why I divorced you, because I want to do what I want to do. When I feel like doing a girl, I'm going to do a girl. When I feel like doing a little cabin boy, I'm going to do the little cabin boy. Like, I want to do what I want to do. And namaste to you. I'm a mess. And now I'm gonna say to you, Kimora, because I ain't trying to see you in your shenanigans today. I'm really not. So Russell over there living his best life in Bali, probably getting, the little pool boy to fan him with a little leaf or something. Cool me off while I sip my vegan juice. But I do think Puff's gonna fight this every step of the way. He's gonna fight it. He's gonna go down swinging, and I meant that in every sense of the word. Y'all see me, and I think you know what I mean. He gonna go down fighting. Like he going down. And then who's next? They say Jay. I find it hard to believe Jay's going to go down. I find it hard to believe. Because first of all, Beyonce probably take him and buy him a whole island in Bali before she let that go down. She will pack up them 50-11 kids, her mama, and deuces to the music world. She don't have to make another album ever. She never does. But she stayed wanting to do stuff. I said, girl, when she announced during the Renaissance that she had to have surgery on her foot because she like broke her foot and like did all this stuff, I'm like, girl, sit down somewhere. Sit your ass. You 40-something years old. Sit down. I wish I would and do all that gyrating. No, my husband, I'm sitting on $1 billion. Them fans. Them fans. Okay? I did enough for y'all. Deuces. I'm like, if this girl don't sit her behind down somewhere. You know how your aunts be like, girl, if you don't sit down somewhere. Ain't be doing all this, what they like, somewhere. I need her to sit her behind down somewhere. Cowboy Carter. Y'all gonna listen to it though? I'm gonna listen to it. I got to. I'm a Virgo. And a Scorpio moon like she is. I got to. It's like, I don't know, it's part of my contract or something. I think it's part of my contract. I think I got a contract with Beyonce that says I must listen to all the crap she puts out. And as much as I listen to it, I'm gonna try to like it. I don't know if it's going to happen though. All right, y'all know I'm getting punchy now. Time for me to go to bed. Puff gonna fight. Yeah, Puff gonna fight. Yeah, Puff gonna fight. Sugar, I'm gonna need you to come up and do one of these for me. Well, with me. You know how we do. Two girls from the B busting it down and telling these people what's the tea. And I want to tell you how to tea so bad. Okay, now I'm doing like Tanika Ray. I want to tell you how to tea so bad, but I can't tell you how to tea. No, I really can't tell you how to tea, but I will tell you how to tea. I will. When it gets to that, I'm gonna tell you the tea, and I know when it gets to it. Usher's next. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna tell you before we go. I'm gonna tell you a little something that me and my line sister kind of deduced together. You know how Usher's always going after these older women? He's always got this drawer. I think that came from Puff, from living at Puff's house and having them older women play with his peachy. And if y'all don't know what a peachy is, ask me offline. I'll tell you. But I think you know. I think you do. But yeah, I think that's why he has such a fascination and a lust for older women. They showed him a trick of 3. These old women will. They will. They'll get him. You'll check out her album? Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. Just like I checked out Renaissance. And it took me a little bit. I'll be honest. It took me a little bit before I got with that Renaissance album. And I didn't go to her concert. And I probably won't go to the Cowboy Carter either. Because I just I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it to go. And I know it was a sensory experience and all the lights and action and la 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 la. I just felt like that concert was not for me. It was for the people who wanted this kind of album and who really like wholeheartedly love that vibe from her. I thought it was a great concept. I thought it was, a solid album. Was it album of the year-ish kind of? No, I thought Lemonade was the album of the year. I thought that if she would have gotten it for anything, she should have gotten it for either the first album or for Lemonade. Those two kind of stand out in my head as solid albums that you could really kind of like from one end to another look at the trajectory of her life with Jay, because he ain't no piece. He's a piece of work too. He's a Sag. Don't make dollars. It don't make sense to him, and he's all about using whatever he needs to do or whatever he's got to get ahead, and he did, and he has. So there you have it. They got Usher already. Yeah, they got him in the sense that he got the the stuff on his peachy. They gave him the stuff that don't never go away. Yikes. But with medication, management, I guess, he won't have that many flare-ups, hopefully, with his new wife. And they have 2 kids already. So he's 4 kids now. So I guess everything is okay. But they ain't get him like they want to get him. You know what I mean? They ain't get him like they want to get him. They got him, but they ain't get him like they want to get him. Yeah. Let's see what else. Me neither. I will stream the Renaissance movie. Oh, yes. Yes. I saw the Renaissance movie in the theaters. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I get why. Okay, one more thing, and then we really need to go because it's 1.5 hours. And I don't like to stay over my welcome. You guys invite me in on Thursday night. I don't want to overstay my welcome. But however, in the Renaissance movie, they have that piece about Blue Ivy and how she came to be on stage or whatever. And I liked that she told her no, but then changed her mind because Blue Ivy was adamant that she was going to put the work in and she was going to do what was necessary to hold her own on stage with her dancers. And she practiced, she did her thing. She was nervous. And Jane was like, I know my daughter. I knew she was nervous on there. But she persevered with that nerve. She channeled it. And now everybody trotting their little children out to do stuff. Y'all see little Eris? I don't know if she's singing or rapping or what she doing on that daggone song. But I'm like, they got so much auto tunes on that poor child. I'm like, would they let these children be children and run around and play? What the heck? They got what's the child, Northwest out there talking about she gonna do a whole album called Elementary School Dropout. Hold, please. Elementary School Dropout. Girl, sit down somewhere. Sit somewhere. Auntie Bella says, sit down. Siéntate. Okay? Rápido. Ahora. Por favor. Aquí. I'm like, I can't with these celebrity children. Every time I turn around. Stop it. Let the kids be kids. Oh, thank you, Jill. Oh, I'm glad you had a blast. Yes, now Eris can sing, but that song, whatever that song is that they have out, it gives me a headache because I can hear the auto tunes. If you're gonna let the child sing, let the child sing. Let her sing. But if you putting the auto tunes on or the track or whatever they doing, they speeding it up, and then she trying to sing on top of it. It's just a hot mess, and they just jumping around, just jumping around. Sit down somewhere. You making Auntie Bella nervous. Sit down before you trip and fall, bust your tooth or something. Sit down. Auntie Bella had enough now. Auntie Bella had enough. Okay? I'm tired of her. Sit down somewhere. Yes. Northwest. Yes, Northwest. And that other one, little Saint, they're always putting up the middle finger. They are going to be the problem children. Chicago seemed like, listen, I just want to get along, go along to get along. I'm just here. I know my family crazy, but I'm just trying to coast. She like that middle child. She's like, I'm just going to coast. Woosah. Woosah. Like, I just want to forget that anything's going on. Like, whatever. My daddy crazy. My mama crazy. My siblings crazy. I just want to sit down somewhere. Like Auntie Bella said, I just want to sit down somewhere and shut up. Oh my God. Yeah, she too grown for words. She too grown for words. Oh my God. One of my aunts, like, she used to always say, I just want to pop in the mouth. I'm like, my aunt used to be so violent. Like, I just want to pop her in the mouth. She's so talkative. I just want to pop her in the mouth. I'm like, my God, why are you so violent? But I see now why aunties have to say, you know what? I just want to pop you in the mouth. Shut up. Sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere. Next time y'all see Northwest, they're going to be like, see, Bella tells you, sit down somewhere. Sit your behind down. Too grown. She got all her little friends jumping up and down at her dad concert. Yeah, everyone, let's jump up and down at the concert. Yay! Sit down. Sit your ass down. Read a book. Ay, Dios mío. Dolor de la cabeza. It's a mess. A mess. All right, babes. That is going to be it for tonight. We are going to keep an eye on this story of Puff, and there probably was other celebrity shenanigans this week, but I tell you, from Monday to today, everybody has been talking about this doggone thing and making leaps and assumptions and pulling stuff out of thin air and sewing it together and said this go with this, go with this, go with this, go with this. But if you check the timeline, it'll tell you everything you need to know. And so that's why I put together that timeline. And yes, it wasn't, everything that's going on, but it kind of gives you like, okay, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And it sort of starts to tell its own kind of story. So hopefully, we'll be able to build some more as this story develops. Will more people be added to it? Most likely. Will this story with Diddy go away anytime soon? Most definitely not. Now we're going to probably uncover, whatever they discovered in that raid. We're going to be, hearing about that and probably, whatever they found, if they found anything. And if they didn't, are they going to be doing more search and seizures of things. Who knows? Who knows? TC, oh my God, you came in at the 10th hour, girl. How are you doing, boo? Thanks for coming in. We're about to wrap up, so you got to catch a replay. All right, babes, that is going to be it. Before I let you all go, a couple things I want to say. One, thank you so much for coming out. I know I don't take this for granted when you guys come and hang out with me, and I love it. I love it. This weekend, Easter weekend, but I'm still gonna do a Sunday sips. So you'll probably be coming out of church, or if you're like me, mass have been long over. You're probably cooking something. Want to come hang out with me? I'm going to do another deep dive, this time on Tom Ford, because when I did the deep dive on, I'm sorry, not Tom Ford. Sorry, Tom Ford is going to be not the first Sunday in April because I'm going to be gone, but that following Sunday, so like the 14th, maybe it is. I can't remember. In any case, that's when I'm going to do Tom Ford. This weekend, I'm doing, we did West Tilly. I'm doing another woman-owned brand. Maybe we'll do Pat McGrath. Either Pat or Danessa will do on Sunday. One of them, because it's still Women's History Month. So I want to go out with another woman. Okay, so that's going to be on Sunday Sips. Then I'm going to be starting tomorrow because I'm going to be working on my thumbnail for tonight. I am having a very, very special guest come and hang out with me for Boss Babes. This is season 3 now. Oh my God, I can't believe we've been doing this for 3 seasons. Hey, Keisha, oh my God, everybody's coming. Is coming in at the 8th hour. Okay, we're wrapping up, but I want to tell you what's going on. So on April 15th, I'll be dropping the thumbnail for it, but I want you guys to remember April 15th at 7 p.m. It's tax day, so of course you're going to remember that day. At 7 p.m., I'm going to be talking with the senior chief advisor to the mayor of New York City. She is a dear, dear friend and sorority sister of mine. She's my big sister. I love her to death. I'm going to be so nervous because I'm interviewing my big sister, but I am so elated. I'm so thankful that she agreed to do this. This has been a long time in the making because she agreed like last year, but with her schedule being, as it is, and I have been patiently waiting. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. She said yes. So whenever she's able to do it, we'll do it. And we were finally able to get a date, and we're finally doing it. And we're going to talk about her rise and how she connected with the mayor, because I think that's going to be a very interesting conversation, because she's been with him for a very, very long time. And whenever you see her, if you're in the New York City area and you see Mayor Adams do any kind of address or whatever, always seated to his right is this woman. And she is phenomenal. She is dynamic. She is a Panamanian Bayesian princess like myself. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about AKA. We're going to be talking about all of that and then some. And I am so, so honored that she is going to be on the show. So that is going to be tax day, April 15th at 7 p.m. I'm going to work on the thumbnail because I really want this to be a really beautiful thumbnail. I want it to be the best thumbnail I ever did in my whole entire life because I'm just so ecstatic about this woman coming and gracing the stage with us. So please, if you have any questions, start thinking about them now. And get that lipstick emoji ready because we're going to be talking with the one and only Dr. Ingrid P. Martin Lewis. So I am so excited. Bella is amazing. Thank you, Lou. Well, I have a flyer. I will do a thumbnail for it, which will, live on my channel, and I will be circulating that around. And I also will do like I did for Gina Nicole Brown, who was the last boss babe that I did. I will take that thumbnail and put it on my other social media accounts. So it'll be on my TikTok. It'll be on my Facebook page, it'll be Instagram, everywhere. So you'll be able to pick it up and share it out. So yeah, let your people know, because I want to interview your mayor too, because she is the first female mayor of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. Yes. So we definitely would love to get her on a Boss Babe. And I have some more dynamic boss babes coming, CEOs and bosses of industries and top people in all walks of life. And it's a chance to kind of see them in everyday light and gain some insight from them and glean some insights that you can use in your everyday plight to rise in your own personal ladders and things like that. So I invite you to come and check it out. It's going to be great. I'm going to have some great nuggets of knowledge that we can carry with us as we carry on this life, because it takes a sister to know a sister and to teach a sister and to raise a sister. So I totally believe in affirming female power. We don't do it enough, in my opinion. So if I can use my platform to do so, I am most happy to do it. All right. And those of you who are in my Bella Brigade, my paid members, and shout out to Angie Styles, who is our newest babe here. We will have a freebie Friday, I think tomorrow. So check that out. It will be on my community tab. So make sure you check out my community tab. Like I said, membership goes from 99 cents on up to $9.99. And with that, you get plenty of perks and opportunities to do a lot of different things. So don't forget to check that out. I love you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Give it a thumbs up on your way in or your way out. And until I see you all again, you have now been Bellafied. Bye, babes. Happy Thursday.